I wanted to show you guys this article that I randomly pulled up that has confirmed everything that I've been saying about the problems with our society in relation to cluster B personality types, like borderline personality disorder. Okay, so I know I probably seem like I have an insecure attachment to this little bugger over here. Okay, the difference is I know that I do. That's why I say goodbye to things that I throw away, and sometimes I kiss them. I'm very, very aware of the fact that carrying around stuffed animals when I'm 36 years old is kind of ridiculous, okay? But I'm also a schizo. Can't you tell? It's funny how many people will make fun of you if you like cats, but I think that people that like dogs are way more unhealthy. Because at least cat people know that there's something fucked up with their heads, you know? Isn't that right? You knew that immediately when you met me, sweetheart. You did. She got used to the yelling, though. She got used to that quick, because she had to. She had no choice. She said, this crazy bitch still feeds me. So, we forgive. We forgive. Okay, so I'm going to read this article. Okay. Okay. This is from a Psychology Post. People with insecure attachment styles tend to have strong emotional bonds with pets, study finds. New research on German dog owners finds that people with stronger relationships to their pets display more symptoms of mental disorders and distress, but proposes that this link may be fully accounted for by insecure attachment to other humans. The study was published in BMC Psychiatry. Pet ownership has long been linked to better mental health and lower levels of negative conditions such as loneliness and depression, both in the general population and in patients with physical and mental disorders. However, such findings have not been consistent, as other studies reported zero or even negative effects of pet ownership on physical and mental health. A different line of research has linked emotional attachment to pets to problems in interpersonal relationships. One such study found that people with stronger attachment to pets reported lower levels of social support and higher levels of loneliness and depression. Another one found strong attachment to pets to be associated with childhood trauma and certain psychopathological traits. These results led authors of the new study to focus on the relationship between interpersonal attachment styles, i.e., what kinds of relationships with others are we comfortable in, attachment to pets, and mental health. Study author Johanna Lass Henneman and her colleagues conducted an online survey of 610 German dog owners to test the hypothesis that stronger emotional attachment to one's dog is associated with higher mental health burden and insecure attachment to humans. They also aim to disentangle the link between emotional attachment to pets and human attachment and their prospective associations with mental health burden. The researchers recruited respondents by distributing the link to their survey on web pages for dog owners and on social media. Study participants recruited in this way were mostly females. Internalized comment. 93% between 18 and 73 years of age. They were asked to provide certain demographic data and dog-related information about themselves, but also to complete assessments of attachment to pets, personal attachment styles, and of symptoms of mental disorders and distress, or the mental health burden, to use the words of authors. Respondents who were more strongly attached to their dogs reported more symptoms of mental disorders and distress. Additionally, a stronger... Damn that tail. like she's trying to take me out with it. Okay, additionally, a stronger emotional attachment to one's dog was associated with lower comfort with depending and trusting others, the dependence component of interpersonal attachment, and to a greater fear of being rejected and unloved, the anxiety component of interpersonal attachment. These were, in turn, associated with more pronounced symptoms of mental disorders and distress, mental health burden. Results also indicated that interpersonal attachment styles may be mediating the association between the emotional attachment to the dog and mental health burden, as it fully accounted for the link between the later two factors. Authors conclude that stronger emotional attachment to pets might reflect a compensatory attachment strategy for people who were not able to establish secure relationships to other people during childhood. Those people may build more close relationships with pets that might be perceived as more reliable and less threatening. These results highlight important links between emotional attachment and mental health. However, this was a correlation study, and therefore it cannot be the basis for cause and effect interpretations. Almost all of the participants were women, and the results internalize another comment. And the results might differ somewhat on a sample of men. Internalize yet another comment. The authors also noted that the assessment method for emotional attachment to dog used in the study assesses the intensity of attachment, but not the attachment style. Assessing the style of attachment to pet alongside intensity might provide novel insights in future studies. The paper, The Relationship Between Attachment to Pets and Mental Health, the Shared Link Via Attachment to Humans, was authored by Johanna Loss Henneman, Sarah K. Schaefer, M.X. Brand. Don't care. Okay. All women have borderline personality disorder. Okay, that is what we've been saying. And I think that the solution to this problem is to take away the dogs. Okay, whenever a woman decides to rescue an animal, first of all, that means that she needs to be rescued herself. Okay, this friend of mine told me that that family that recently had their kids mauled to death by pit bulls, they were rescuing the dogs from dog fighting. Okay? So it happened so fast, and I'm not going to go into this again talking about pits, but I'm just saying that the people that the kinds of people that want to do something like that typically are mentally and emotionally unstable. Okay, so they think that they're doing something positive for the world, and they will realize that they need to do that for themselves. Okay, I realize that, trying to help other people is good, but if you need help yourself, you don't need to be rescuing an animal, especially an animal that is trained to fight other dogs, and they're literally the most vicious breed on planet Earth, okay? That does not need to happen. And obviously, those parents didn't really think much of their children if they're going to put their children in a situation like that. I don't really want to go into this again, but I think that it's really important that people get the help that they need, but most of the time help doesn't help. So my suggestion is to read the Bible every single time. I would start with the Psalms. Okay, the Psalms are probably the best thing about the Bible. Honestly, I mean, I love the New Testament so much, but I don't think that I would have read the New Testament so fast if it weren't for the Psalms, because I got so much therapeutic value out of reading the Psalms that it made me want to jump to the New Testament. Okay, so for people that think that, oh, you should start with Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, they're not going to understand it. Okay, Jesus is all up in the Psalms, okay? And once you understand that, the value of that Holy Spirit, okay? Because most people are, they live in a secular world, so they're not going to understand spiritual things. But if they have psychological problems, they need to start with the Psalms, because all of their health issues are in the Psalms. Okay? I remember when I first read the Psalms, I felt like such an idiot, because that was the solution the whole time. And I always had the Bible. I've collected Bibles over the years, which is funny because, I never read them. But obviously I was a spiritual person if I felt the need to collect them but never even look at them. But this article, really clarifies everything that I've been saying about society, and that they just choose all these things that don't work for them. Like having a dog that never provides you criticism, which women really, really need, okay? There's this girl that I told she had borderline personality, and she, just completely overreacted and never spoke to me again. And, she has a pit bull, okay? So, I wish that one would maul her to death because she's a piece of garbage. But, I wish that would happen to all these people, honestly. I mean, is that mean? Is that mean to say that? Because they kind of deserve it. Because they don't want to do anything that would actually help them. So they keep choosing all of these things that aren't going to do anything but coddle them. Okay? When you can curl up with the dog, if you're lucky and it doesn't maul you to death, if you can curl up with the dog and you have something there that's this constant companion that will never judge you, and it will never provide you the support that you actually need, that can only come from God. It's not going to come from an animal. I mean, I love my animals, okay? But, I mean, if I didn't have them, I'd be fine. Okay, so for whoever wants to call me a crazy cat lady, yeah, I'm a crazy cat lady that knows damn well, everything that's going on inside my head, and I know why it's there, okay? So, booyah. The fact that people just can't wait to judge somebody that has the information, such as yours truly, and yet they just put up with all of these crazy dog people. Okay, dog people are way crazier than cat people, because cat people tend to have self-awareness. They do. Now, obviously, I'm not talking about the low-functioning schizophrenics that, allow their whole house to be covered in cat shit and, don't realize, what they look like to the rest of the world, all right? We know pretty well how the world sees us, okay? But dog people, it's they're encouraged to do this. I think that women shouldn't be allowed to have a dog. Honestly, I feel like people that do rescuing, they need to stop doing that. They shouldn't be allowed to do that. For the same reason that people shouldn't be allowed to use their phone. If they're sending, mean tweets and taking selfies, anybody that takes a selfie should have their phone removed, okay? When you send a bunch of posts about politics, you should have your phone removed. What else? We're going to fix the world right now. If you feel the need to, immediately, tweet about something, if you have no self-control, people that tweet too much, they should have their phone removed for a week. And people that... What else? We really are going to solve the world's problem, because it really is, the internet and, just all these, really sick people that don't want to do anything but coddle even sicker people. I mean, it's just this constant enabling game. And it's really disgusting. And I see that with a lot of really insecure women that don't have a relationship with their dad. They always want to rescue a dog. Oh, gosh. They're typically on, a bunch of medication, too. So they're total zombies. And they don't have any idea what's going on. They can't see themselves doing what they're doing all the time. Exactly. Come on, baby. Come on, smile for the camera. Smile for the camera. No, she don't want to.
She's like me. I didn't start smiling from the camera until I lost my tooth, dude. And now I love it. Mainly because I look so ridiculous. I look like a meth head, and I like it. I feel like that's how I'm supposed to look. But anyway. Yeah, man, like most people that rescue animals, like they're messed up. They're messed up. They have borderline personality disorder. Like what that article said about childhood, that's so true. I mean, this girl that I'm talking about, it's like she doesn't have a relationship with her dad, and it's like that's just a common characteristic that I've noticed. You know, like I've been a much healthier person since I started talking to my dad again. And I've noticed that that had a lot to do with politics as well. But it was like the less leftist I was, like, the more I wanted to just like patch things up and stop being angry and bitter. So I think that politics has a lot to do with it. Because I don't know many conservatives that like hate their dad. I mean, I'm not saying that we have like a really, really good relationship or anything, because we're very, very different. But he doesn't have a smartphone either, so really, like, I have more in common with him than I do like a lot of people. Because he doesn't like the technology either, obviously. He doesn't feel the need to upgrade all because everybody else is upgrading, and he isn't, like, he doesn't have FOMO. He's still stuck in the 50s. Yours truly is still stuck in the 90s. Who would have thought that the 90s would be an era that one would want to be stuck in? That's so weird. But anyway, say hi. Say hi. You see, I know that she doesn't actually love me. That's the thing. Like, people that own dogs, like, they don't love you, dude. They don't love you. Like, the only reason why you think that they do, I mean, they're attached to you, but it's mainly because you give them food. Okay? It's not because they're like gonna provide you the same love as the Lord. Okay? Because a dog can't forgive you of sins. Okay, so shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up and get humble. And stop using a dog to cleverly disguise the fact that you're a crazy ass borderline personality. Alright? Yeah, I wish I could just kidnap. I wish I could kidnap their dogs. I feel like those dogs need to be rescued from their owners, because their owners are so sick. The fact that they would try to rescue a pit bull from dog fighting and think that that's gonna go over well. I mean, these people are just insane, dude. They're absolutely insane. They cannot socialize a dog past 15 weeks. But I'm sure that they didn't listen to a canine trainer. I'm sure that they just listened to their stupid liberal politics, and they don't believe in stereotypes and blah, 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 blah. What I find interesting is that, and I've said this before, but I'll say it again because I feel like I can word it better. The types of people that get a pit bull are either stereotyped to be aggressive themselves or don't believe in stereotypes at all, unless they involve white men. So, what does that say? What does that say? Like, let's just take, like, pit bulls out of it. Let's just talk about the people that get a pit bull, all right? Because it's not a pit bull's fault that they're aggressive. They're literally bred to be that way. It's in their DNA to be that way. So you can't really blame the dog. You know, it's like blaming a liberal for being stupid. You know, like, you can't, you know, they're just, like, trained to be that way, you know? So, you can say that I'm a meanie, but, you know, I want what's best for everybody, and I stand by my original position that you should just take the pit bulls and release them on child molesters, because they both eat children.